Hello, everybody. This is Sylvia. Today we're going to talk about the healing power of humor. So let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Butterfly Talk. This is a show that I basically talk to mom about raising special needs children, specifically children with recessive dystrophic EB, of course, because this is what I have. And even though I talk about EB all the time, I'm not at all an expert on EB. I'm only an expert on my child, right? So, at any rate, first of all, I wanted to let you guys know Nikki had a surgery. It went well. I mean, the surgeon really messed up his lip and messed up his chin, but overall he can eat now. I've been making him this little bitty pasta with marinara sauce and fresh Parmesan cheese, and he loves it. He can eat it and he's so excited. So anyway, anything to make him happy. Let me see. Before I get started, I want to talk about my back. Some people have asked about my back. My room is a mess. This is our computer room, and it's always a mess. There's books, there's like CDs, there's stuff everywhere. And so this is like our mess room. And so I got this to show. I'm in Venice in my mind, right? I'm in Venice. And also the mug of the day is Italy as well. This is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I actually saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa a couple of times, or even more. We went there when I was little, so I don't remember. There's photos of me next to it. I'm like, okay, I don't remember. And I went with school to a school trip, because in Italy, that's where you go in school trips. You go to Florence, you go to Pisa, you go to Rome. You know, it's amazing. And then I went once again with my cousin, I believe. I went with somebody. Now I can't remember. But anyway, I love pizza. So anyway, my shirt today is Friends. And the reason why I wore the shirts is because Friends helped me a lot. So today's topic is humor and how it has helped us. I have written a column which didn't make it into the book Special Mommy Chronicles. Now, Special Mommy Chronicles is a combination of all the columns that I wrote for a newspaper, parenting newspaper magazine in Ohio, and it has all kinds of all my columns are in here, and it's really great. But this column in particular didn't make it into the book because I wrote it afterwards, and so it didn't make it. But I wanted to read you. Let me see. I wanted to read you a portion of it, and it says, according to recent studies, laughter produces endorphins, which lessens pain, increases production of T cells, interferon, and immune proteins called globulins, and even significantly lowers cortisol levels and returns the body to a more relaxed state. It even boosts your immune system. Dr. Cousins, who in 1964 was diagnosed with a crippling and extremely painful inflammation of his body, stated that I made the joyous discovery that 10 minutes of genuinely belly laughter had an anesthetic effect and would give me at least 2 hours of pain-free sleep. Dr. Cousins later recovered from his condition and spent the next 20 years teaching about the merits of laughter and humor in healing. And I will put a link to this particular column because even though I didn't make it into the book, I put it on my blog. And I put as cover, I put a quote from the Bible that said, "A cheerful heart is good medicine," which is Proverbs 17:22. Um, of course, I grew up watching comedies like everybody else that grew up in the 60s and 70s. People in my generation know very well Bewitched, which is a show that Nikki loves, by the way, Bewitched. And of course, I grew up watching the Brady Bunch and all those. And then once I was a teenager, there was Happy Days, and then later on Cheers. I've watched all the comedies, always loved comedies. But it didn't become something that I really needed in my life until after I lost Alex. And before I get started with that, I want to read you a part of a blog I wrote. This blog I wrote, let me see, 2000, it doesn't even say. It's been a while since I wrote this blog. But I wrote, after I lost Alex at full term, the one thing I could not do is watch anything dramatic on TV or the movies. ER was popular back then, and I avoided it like the plague. Even now, medical dramas are still hard for me to watch. I was crying so much at the time that I realized that I needed to laugh. I needed to do things that would make me smile and forget, even for a moment, all that I was going through. So TV shows like Friends and Frasier became my salvation. And I remember all I did is watch TV. It's not even just watch TV. I would only watch comedies, things that would make me laugh. I had to laugh. And of course, I used to work quite a bit at the time, and so I didn't watch as much TV as I do now when I'm stuck at home. But I remember trying my best to find things to just laugh about. Things that are happy, funny. I would come home from work and watch David Letterman. I didn't watch the news. I watched nothing. I was just like, I knew that I needed to focus myself on happy, put a smile on my face. And that was hard. I'm not saying that was easy. That was just incredibly hard. But, what goes in comes out, right? And so even though I cried a lot, especially after Alex died, I was a mess. You would not have liked me. You would not have liked him. Many people didn't and told me so. I'm like, well, I was going through something horrible, something no parent should ever go through. And then after that, I had Nikki. And so I was happy that he was alive. But I needed to find just something to just help me. So when we used to change Nikki's bandages, we used to do it on the couch or somewhere where there was a TV in front of us. And that would when he was little, of course, it was Blue's Clues and Barney and all of those. But then once he got older, he would be playing his video games on his little thing, or play Candy Crush, or watch TV shows like he loved How I Met Your Mother, or any cooking shows. He used to love cooking shows. Anything that would take his mind off of the pain. Anything. And Nikki says sometimes he would only remember that he was in pain if I asked him. And so I've stopped asking him if he's in pain because I don't want to remind him. I don't want to be in pain because I'm reminding him that there's pain to be had. So anyway, no, I'm not going to ask him. And even not just changing bandages, even part of our routine to always find things to make fun of. Oh, look at that guy. Oh my God, on TV or whatever, oh, that's funny. Look at that. I would always, even when we were driving to Stanford for us was a good 6-hour drive. And so we used to have to go all the time. Now we haven't gone in over a year, but, I used to check the cow. Oh my God, look at that cow. What's it doing? I would always try so hard to find humor in things, in everything, because my goal was to make him smile, to make him laugh, because laughter is the funniest, is the greatest thing in the world. Nikki's laughter. Sometimes he's there playing with his friends, and he just starts laughing, just a belly laugh, and that's my favorite sound in the world, to hear him laugh. Oh my God, my angel. So it's funny because there've been days that have been hard on me. Days where changing bandages was not something I was ready to do because these wounds were so horrible. And so, oh, I didn't silence my phone. Let me do that. Okay, I'm done. Um, and so I'd be like, okay, Nikki, for this one, I need to have a glass of wine. And that's how it is. And so I would have the glass of wine, and then maybe I'd have a second. And by the time I got to the second, Nikki would tell me, Mom, you're funny now. You're really funny. I keep drinking, keep drinking. You're making me laugh. You're helping me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't recommend it because I know different people have different reactions. But lucky enough, my alcohol reaction, and even just 2 glasses of wine, it doesn't even need to be that much. And I become just, become funny. And so everything is funny, and Nikki laughs and laughs, and he doesn't think about the pain. That's my little sacrifice, right? My sacrifice is I'm gonna have a couple glasses of wine. But anyway, that's how we deal with it. Let me see. I wrote some notes here. Yeah, I mean the sense of humor rubbed off on Nikki quite a bit because even when he was going to school, the bus driver would always tell me, he is a funny, funny kid. And I'm like, really? Oh, awesome, And I remember once we were driving back from camp, and which he loves camp, but we were driving back from camp. It was a good 5-hour drive from Livermore. And Nikki's telling me, Mama, did you know somebody told me, and this was just before he turned 18. He was going to be 18 in November, and this was like in June. They said kids with EB don't live past their 18th birthday. And I'm like, really? I said, what did you tell her? I said, you're wrong, bitch. And that was funny because Nikki doesn't cuss. He never cusses. I never hear him cuss. And so just for him saying that, it was just hilarious. We laughed and laughed about that. And another thing was that, another great thing about this humor that I try so hard. I want to make everybody smile. I want to make everybody laugh, right? It even rubbed off on my husband. And my husband is not that person. My husband is a very serious, loving, but serious person. And so the past few years, especially since his stroke, he had 2 strokes actually 11 years ago. And he found that humor really helped him as well. He just, instead of being mad at something, let's say he's mad because, let's say the cat litter wasn't picked up or something, just something really silly. Before his strokes, this sense of humor rubbed off on him, he would be like, why aren't you guys doing this? What's wrong with you? Blah, 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 this, whatever, Well, now it's like, oh my God, that cat, boy, can she go, And so instead of saying it in a mean way, we make fun of things. And I do it to him. He does it to me. We are never mad at each other because we always make fun of whatever our faults are. There's no need to be mean. You can just be fun about it. And so I think that helps more than anything. Just realizing, let's not take life so seriously. Yes, EB sucks. Having a child that suffers every day sucks. But it doesn't mean you need to cry all day long. I mean, of course, it's easy for me to say because Nikki's going to be 24 coming up in a couple of months. And I've been doing this for a long time. And yes, I have my moments. When Nikki did the surgery this past Monday, they had to poke him 4 times. And it was hell each and every time. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I just had to sit there and put a smile on my face, hug him, because that's what I do. I hug him as he gets his IV in. And just like, you hold on to me. I tell him, you hold on. You just just hold on to me. And he just holds on and screams and yells, and he gets really upset. And he's still upset now about that. But we make fun of them. Oh, that doctor didn't know what the hell they were doing, and da 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 da. And it's just a release for him to be able to just make fun of things. But anyway, that's it. The thing that I suggest to everybody to do, just watch fun shows. I don't think I'm watching any comedies nowadays. The only one I like was the One Day at a Time, and then Men with a Plan. That's one of the things that I noticed that I could do with Nikki, because Nikki can't go out and do stuff to have fun. He can't go on a roller coaster. I can't take him anywhere. So the only place I could take him to was, since he loved comedies and he loved to laugh, I would take him to go see TV shows being taped. I mean, we're here in LA, might as well take advantage of it. And so some shows we went to see didn't have handicap, because what happened, the studio is in front, and then right in front of the studio, that's where all the people sit to watch the show in live taping. And so certain shows, like One Day at a Time and Fuller House that we went to see, they didn't have areas for handicapped people in the audience area. So we had to sit on the side. And now with Fuller House, it wasn't too bad. We didn't get too upset about it because you couldn't see it being filmed. We were like on the side. But all the celebrities, all the actors came and visited us. And then afterwards, and so took photos with Nikki. So that was awesome. And then we were able to go through the set of Fuller House, and Nikki just loved it. That was his favorite show when he was a little younger, Full House, and now Fuller House. And but the other show, One Day at a Time, there was nothing, and so I complained, because that's what I do. I'm like, you have a kid who loves your show, and he can't even see it being taped. Nobody came out, nothing. We just left. So I complained about it on Twitter, because it's like, really, this is ADA? Is this an ADA issue? I do anything I can to make Nikki happy, to make him laugh, And so they invited us to come over to watch not the live taping, but the rehearsal. So we were like, okay. So we went there, and they were really sweet. Rita Moreno she came immediately to Nikki, said hi, and so that was awesome. And then we went to see a couple of more shows. We went to see Young and Hungry, and of course Nikki has to sit in front because it's kind of like a theater style thing, right? And so wheelchair can only sit in front. And so Rob is in front, and one of the stars of the show came and asked me if he was having fun, and that was a lot of fun. But I think the best one we saw of the shows that we went to see was Men with a Plan, because they had handicap access, so we were right in front, and all I could hear in my ear was Nikki laughing so hard. It was just so amazing. And so before all this COVID breakdown, I was going to take him. I had tickets to go see it again, and I was looking fervently for more shows to go watch, but we couldn't do it. Of course, we went to see Big Bang Theory a few times. I want to say 3 times, and that's mainly because Kaylee Cuoco is amazing. She really wants a cure for EB as well, and so we were able to go see that. But we wanted to go see The Conners being taped, because Roseanne was one of Nikki's favorite shows growing up, but they didn't have handicap access, so we didn't bother going. But I think that's the takeaway here is Nikki's life is so full of suffering that at this point in his life, I don't know how much longer I will have him. He's going to be 24. I can't even believe he made it this far. They told us he would die before his first birthday. And so to have him 24, if I can get him to laugh, I will. And if I have to go to the moon to get him to laugh, where do I get the tickets? You know, and I'm just lucky that I live here in LA. And so we're close to where all the shows are being taped. And so we can just go and it's free. So anyway, no matter where you live, you can find something fun to do, you know. And even if it's an amusement park, there's a lot of things you can do without it being a roller coaster. You know, I told Nikki, look, we can still go to Disneyland. Okay, so you can't go to Space Mountain or whatever, but you can still, there's a lot of kiddie, there's a lot of kiddie rides, and there's a lot of stuff you can see, you know. So I'm trying to, you know, after COVID, of course, after all settles down and we're back to normal, whatever normal is, because I'm not even sure if it's ever going to be a normal, right? Like this has been my normal now. My hair is up in a bun and growing out my bangs. And so this is very easy and cool. And who knew? Who knew I would live in a bun? That's, you know, but I think coronavirus is changing a lot of the ways we do things. There's a lot more online stuff happening, and this is why I started this, right? Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestion of what I could talk about, I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but I've lived with a special needs child now for 24 years almost. And so there's a lot of things that I dealt with that I know I can help people with. So if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and turn the bell on. I think it's this side, or is it this side? And I'll put links below for all the things I talked about. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe, everybody.